name is Brian. I'm here to show you some really quick and easy, inexpensive ways to plant some seeds and get some food going. I'll be the first to tell you about 2 years ago, I retired in 2018 and I absolutely knew nothing about gardening. My grandfather, when I was 6 and 7 years old, used to have a garden, and that was the extent of my knowledge. After that, I haven't touched gardening since. But in 2018, I retired. I'm legally blind, a veteran of the United States Army, and I'm looking for things to keep me busy when I discovered this technology, for lack of a better word. I call it wicking technology. It's actually very simple. Its proper name is probably called capillary type planting. And the idea is that we put a plant in a container, we have a wick or something that falls down into a reservoir below. It does not have any nutrients, it's just strictly water, and then that water moves up into the plant. Now in 2018, I got involved fairly heavily with hydroponics, and I've done hydroponics for many years. Love hydroponics. This is just a great supplement to grow plants to sell or to grow plants to put directly out into the garden. It's just another way that you can grow some plants very easily with very, very little activity on our part. So to do this, my favorite is the old 2-liter bottles, the kind you get at the store that's got soda in them of some kind. This one looks like it's from a Casey's or a Walmart or something. And then all we do is cut the bottle directly in half, give or take. We then take the top part of the bottle, remove the cap, and invert the top part of the bottle. These 2 liters are nice because the top fits into the bottom very snugly and very securely. And then the mouth of the bottle is just a little bit below the point where we cut. So I have nice space below that. So to make one of these planters, I've now done the hard work. I've cut the jug. That, believe it or not, is the hardest part of this. So the second thing is we need a wick for the capillary action. I don't know about you, but my dryer tends to eat socks. So about every few months, I'll go through my socks that don't match. I'll put them in a drawer somewhere until I'm ready to cut them up and use them for these planters. So here's an example of one that I cut up, and all I do is just tie a loose knot in the top part of it. Not a large knot, doesn't have to be very tight. The only thing that's important for that knot is we don't want this wick to fall through the hole in the bottom of the bottle. So take this end without the knot in it, push it through, pull it until the knot stops it, and that is our complete secondary part of the planter. So we then take that and put that directly into, here I am knocking things over, the bottom part. Let me grab another one here. So we'll take our bottom part, fill it up about 3/4 of the way, half, a little bit more, and that water will last a long time in these. Take the cotton sock, put it down into that, throw some dirt. You can use Miracle-Gro, you can use anything that's got just a little bit of nutrient in it. And once the water's in there, the dirt's in here, you put your seeds in, set it under a grow light, set it in a window that's got a lot of sun to it, and you're done. You just let it go. There's really nothing to it. So I can show you another example of one that's just about ready for seeds to be put in it. So this is a bleach jug I used, and just cut the top portion off, and I've put dirt into it. It needs a little bit more. There's the wick that goes down into the bottom. Just invert the lid, put it in there. So what I'll do is I'll put water in the bottom, I'll put my seeds in here, throw a little bit more dirt on top, and then I set it and forget it. I'll put it in a window or under a grow light, and that's all I do. So to cut to the chase, here's an example of one I did. These are green beans. I think I did these about, 2.5, 3 weeks ago. I put water in them, set them under a grow light, and I haven't touched these the entire time. They have just sat there, and they've gotten to this point. Now these are to a point now where they're ready to be transplanted out. So I just sprinkled seeds in here and let them grow, and then I'll transplant those into their own little containers or nursery bags so that I can transplant those into a bigger one. Right now it's middle of February, give or take, so it's still rather cold and we still have some time before our last frost. So I'll get these transplanted probably into nursery bags and then put those into a nursery tray and leave those under the light and water those for a few more months until they're ready to go outside. So these are all fairly large containers. I've even got some, I guess they're called fruit juice jugs that the grandkids. Now the nice thing about these is that they're larger, so I can actually put more water in, and the farther down that wick goes, the longer the water goes up. These could easily go for a couple of months once they're full of water. And I like the clear because I can look at them and see, oh, well, the water level has now dropped. So I know when I have to add water. If you don't have a clear one, like these bleach jugs, you pick it up, you shake it just a little bit, you can hear the water level, and you'll know I need to add a little more water to it. Now these big jugs, they're great for multiple seeds, but what if you just have a couple of things that you can do? You can take these single serving type sodas, I don't know how many ounces, 20 ounce maybe, and do the same thing. You cut those up, again, use a piece of cotton sock and invert it, same way, put your water in here, and now you have a single plant planter that you can just set and forget. It's just that simple. This is a very inexpensive way to get some plants started really early and really inexpensively. All you're out basically is a little bit of dirt. I don't count the sock because they'd be going in the trash. I don't count the jugs because they'd be going in the trash. So I'm actually living a more sustainable lifestyle by doing this. I'm saving plastic from going into the ocean or wherever old plastic goes. And I'm actually growing food with it for myself or my family or my neighbors or my friends. Kids love these projects because it doesn't take much to create them and we get fast growth out of them. The plants will start growing a little bit quicker than you will just in a traditional planter with the little seed pods in them. So children like to see action fast. So by doing this, they're going to see their seeds pop and then they'll be ready to transplant those into bigger pots or the ground, whatever the case may be. So that's it. Hopefully you've learned something. Hopefully you can take this and use it yourself. If so, I'm happy. It's all good. But thank you for taking the time to watch this video. Have a great day.